gabi na akong tanan. Actually, naglibo ko saan ako mag-start. Well, it's so, kung balik-balikon bitaw na ko share ang kaning experience na mo, na-encounter na mo, I'm still kaning emotional pag-yun ba. Well, that was true ang isulti ni Mamila. My husband was confined in 14 months. Na-confine siya sa hospital for 3 times. Kunya, imagine sa 3 times ICU. So my husband is a scuba diver. He's 58 years old, scuba diver. In contrary to the pronouncement ni Sir Marlon, ganina, no? Nga he was very abusive sa mga pagkaon, sa tanan, mga vices. My husband is dili gyud siya abusado nga pagkatao. Unya mo na nga sakit mo na una. Nga despite sa iyang healthy lifestyle, okay, he was a scuba diver. Nag-dive siya almost every day, kay that was his profession. Despite sa iyang healthy lifestyle, he was diagnosed of chronic kidney disease stage 5, secondary to polycystic kidneys. So, it was genetics. Bali na-pass on from his father, sa iya. So, we cannot do anything about it. The doctor said, it can also be passed on to our children. So sad to hear that. So that was last February. We were scheduled to visit his pulmonologist. So when I was driving the car, he was with me. He said, "Sweetheart, kindly put off the air condition and open the windows of the car." So then I look at him through the mirror and he was grasping his breath. He was really grasping his breath. He was like a fish in the aquarium na brown outan, napatyan ng aerator. The mouth was so wide, big and wide, grasping breath. So, I was driving down the bridge, Mactan Mandawi Bridge. So I was driving there, and you could just imagine the traffic. It was Friday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You can just imagine the traffic, how traffic it was. So, good thing God gave me the wisdom not to tail the traffic. I counterflow. So, ang island ni counterflow ko, I was driving against all the vehicles going to the bridge. So, I had the courage to do that because of my husband. I wanted to save his life. So then, I told him, just continue to breathe or even cough. You cough. Do not lie down. You just sit down and continue to breathe. So while he was there, I just put the light on hazard. But I did not use the horn because I was thinking also that he might panic. So as soon as we arrived there, at Chomo Mandawi, so he was there. He was assisted right away by the attendants at the door, at the emergency room. There, I was all of my body was trembling, my feet, my hands, and I don't know how to get out of the car anymore. I do not know, because the car was child locked. So, I shouted and I told the guard, I cannot go down anymore. Then I threw the key, and the guard was the one who let me get out of the car, and he was the one who parked the car because I put the car beside the ambulance. So when I approached my husband, he was there lying. I saw him as if I only could imagine two things. First, he will be dead. Second, he might survive, but might be brain damage or any organ might be damaged. So I looked at him and I raised both of my hands and I said, Lord, thy will be done. I surrender him to you. But if given the chance, life is so beautiful. We still want to live this life with him. And so, God was so good. God was so faithful. He is so faithful. My husband survived. Praise God. Thank you. So, after praying, after surrendering to him, I said, I was relieved. I was relieved. Then I looked at my husband, and they administered oxygen to him, they administered bath, and I told the doctor, this is his third time. He has a history already. Please open the system. His name is Luchavez. He has a history there. Then doctor, please intubate my husband. I told him to put the vent tubo so he can breathe. So there, he was intubated. So natubuhan din siya, and he revived. So then, he stayed in the ICU. On his 4th day in ICU, the doctors were there surrounding him because on his first and on his second confinement, he was already advised to undergo hemodialysis because his kidneys were very weak and his heart was weak and he cannot put out all the fluid. So some of the fluid backflowed to his lungs. That's why he had the lung edema, which caused him to grasp his breath. Nalumos na yung lungs. And that's why when we arrived at the hospital, his oxygen was only 54%. So then, on that 4th day, the nephrologist, the cardiologist, the pulmonologist, they were there, and they told me that, Ma'am, murag mapili na jud ni bana. So then, I approached him and I said, sweetheart, I've been praying to God that God will give wisdom to this medical team, that they will be able to give the appropriate intervention, the appropriate medication for you to be healed. And I believe that this is it. The hemodialysis that they offer to you, this is the way that you will be healed. So, I know I am your wife, however, I cannot decide for you. You have to decide for yourself. You go on dialysis or not. So then, he showed like that. This one in scuba diving, this is okay. So when he made a sign like this, I right away went out of the unit, the ICU, and I asked the surgeon. I told him, he's fine. May I sign the waiver under